with our thing, and we want to know, how's your business going?
I was so excited about the show. I ran the credits first. That was me. You're welcome. Live show.
Like, yes, go get to the show.
Oh my God, Colleen,
But I
I'll be
love the
quiet.
credits. I love the intro for it. So it's like, yeah, we got music. So hello, everyone. Welcome to MinkLife Motivation, where you can be part of this conversation, be a co-host with us on the couch. I am joined today with Peggy McCartha and Monica Henderson, and we are going to talk all about networking and how to increase your influence through networking. So let's get started, right? We love these conversations. So why are you passionate about helping people with networking using your zone of genius? Let's start off with Peggy.
All right. So I think for me, I make networking all about like an adventure. Like I don't like the boring networking. I don't like I like to go and participate in my community and network like out of the box. I do, of course, go to the networking events and different things, but I think when you go to have fun and actually build relationships, it takes the out of networking because you're there to like meet people. You're not there to sell or to, whatever. So that's where I'm passionate about.
So you take the word work out of it, right?
Exactly. Net funning. We're net
Yes,
funning.
actually, yes. Net relationships, right? So, Monica, how about you? How are you helping and passionate about tapping into your zone of genius when it comes to networking?
Yeah, the thing about networking for me is that I am nothing in my life that I have that's of value didn't come from network. Like everything in my life that was of value came from networking. Whether it's my friendship with both Colleen and Peggy, my husband, the school that my daughter goes to, most of the resources that I use on a daily basis come from networking. And so I love networking and loathe it at the same time as an introvert and a person who doesn't necessarily want to have to talk to people. But why I am passionate about helping people in networking is because what I've come to realize is it's really not about kind of like being a card dealer and just shoving your card in people's faces, but it's about making genuine relationships and connections with people and friendships. And when I can help people tap into the fact that we need each other as humans, we are pack animals. We need each other, and that this is something that's necessary for our lives and our businesses. And they get that light bulb to go on, like, oh, it's not about me being like having an elevator pitch and being this like cheesy person who's like, I 10x your business, like that person, but just being the genuine person that you are. It really, really changes things for them, and it makes their lives go faster, right? Like everything in their life becomes better because of it. So I love helping people identify like their unique way to show up in that space, and having conversations like this are super helpful.
Yeah, I think, like you said, people don't realize that we've been networking since we were playing on the playground, right? And you were connecting with the kids on the playground and doing that. And then through school and networking, I always realized that I was a connector from way back, right? And at first you don't think about it, and it's like, oh, wait a minute. Like when I was in high school, I was connecting people. I could talk to, the jocks and talk to the smart kids and be that conduit. So, and when people realize that and don't think, oh my God, I have to have a networking strategy and, get so in their head about it. That's where those relationships really start building.
For sure.
So time to get motivated. And so why is networking important for professionals to thrive in life and business? So we kind of started already talking about this. So Monica, why don't you continue the conversation?
The thriving in life and business of it all is, I think, the part that most people don't realize that is necessary. Like, in order to thrive, like you can do business without networking, right? You can show up in your business every day and you can just deal with the people who walk in your door or find you on some random thing, right? And get there. But the thriving part comes from when you get to exchange ideas and exchange clients with people. And so there's two reasons why networking actually makes a huge difference for every entrepreneur, especially if your business is slow right now. So if your business is slow right now, your job should be to go out and talk to people. Two things happen when you talk to people. The first thing that happens is you get to remind yourself of how awesome what you are offering is to people, and that like constant saying what you do is a great practice to help you remember why you're doing it in the first place and why it's beneficial for other people to work with you. And then the second piece is those people get to recognize how awesome you are and what you're putting out there in the world. And it turns a light bulb on over their head that, like, imagine the light bulb, boom. Oh my gosh, I know someone who could use that. Or I just had a conversation with so-and-so and they needed that. Or that is something that I completely needed and I didn't even realize it until you said it right now, right? Those two things happen when you are actively engaging and talking to people about your business. And so if you feel like you're in a slump, or you feel like right now, like, I don't have any clients, there's no energy flowing through my business, right? Start networking, like start talking to people about it, and talking about like, oh, and get excited. Like, don't sell them anything. Just be excited about what you've created. Be excited about what you're selling and tell them all the benefits of why you love it. And in that process, Peggy is going to tell you what happens after that.
Peggy's just doing all sorts of fun things today in the back end. You're welcome for the entertainment relief. So I'm going to yes and everything that Monica just said. And I want to add like the fun factor. Like, I used to do everything by myself. Like, I can do it. Like, I was this like little 2-year-old, like, I can do it myself with everything. And when I realized that I can do everything by myself, but I don't have to do everything by myself. And I think that's the key. When you start building relationships, we'll call it networking, but when you start building true, authentic relationships, there are things that, you really enjoy these people, and you can say something and they'll go, oh, you know what? That's a great idea, Peggy. Did you ever think about blah, blah, blah? And then all of the sudden your ideas are expanding so much quicker. And that happens just naturally when you're building relationships and talking. And then, you know what I just did? I just went to this networking group over here, and there are a ton of people that you should know. So come with me. And hey, you know what? I have a friend that needs your service. Or, you know what? Hey, I got somebody that needs your service. And that's what it should be. I think we hear the word networking and we think of those breakfasts that we have to go to every Thursday morning and and listen to everybody give their 1-minute pitch. Now, do I have a fabulous 1-minute pitch? I absolutely do. And I always have. Like, I used to tell people I sell time travel because I'm a professional photographer. So I sell time travel, and that's something that got people's attention. But it wasn't about the pitch. It was about getting them to actually talk to me and relate to me. So I've got a personal challenge that I've been doing, and that is talking to 10 new people one-on-one every single month. And last week or the week before, last week, I think, someone challenged me to like double that. And I was like, okay, I got you. I see you. But it's really fun to meet new people. Like you go to a new playground, you're out there meeting new people. And of course it can be scary, but that's the fun part, right? It's like getting yourself out there.
Yeah, I mean, yes, and right. So yeah, we everything you guys were saying. So Michael's talking about like, going out and talking about yourself. But I think one of the things that's cool when you're at networking is a lot of times you've already worked or know people out there that you're networking with, and they will sing your praises, right? It's like I've always been, networking, and I like introducing people to other people. So, it's like, oh, then I like love on that person and tell the new person about them, and like, oh, you got to meet Peggy and everything she does and da. You get excited for them. And it's that third party validation, right? It's like you could try to sing your praises all day long, but people don't hear it as, you're doing. It's like, oh yeah, that's just them bragging on themselves, right? But when somebody else does it for you, they take notice. So it's and it, like you were saying, is like as you sing your own praises, that increases your confidence and stuff. When someone else does it, oh my god, it goes through the roof, right? The other day I was reading, I was talking about reviews and stuff, and I was like looking at it. So, and I went and started reading some of my reviews, right? Testimonials that people are like, like this is kind of cool. I got it going on, right? As Peggy was saying, you're a bitch, right? So yeah, going to networking with other people is great, and I like doing stuff with other people. That's like when I do stuff, it's always about like working with other people and figuring out, and because it gives you a different perspective. We'll sit in the co-working space in MinkLife and we'll be there, and like I'll come up with an idea and I'll say something, and someone else will say, yeah, but I don't like that, or this is how I'm hearing it, right? Which is not how I intended it, right? So getting other people to give you those perspectives on things is a great way to network with other people. So time to stay inspired. So how has not networking with your community been a problem for you in the past, or how did you overcome it? So how was like not stepping out of that comfort zone affect what you're doing? And Peggy, you want to start us off this time?
Real life happening. Okay. All right. Get to the nitty gritty here. Real life. All right. So again, I told you I used to be like super like stubborn. I can do it myself. But I think also that came from, I've said this before, the first 15 years of my photography business, I was just running a profitable hobby. I was not running a business. And so when I started realizing, oh, I need to run this as a business, and part of that was, okay, I'm going to go to these networking things. And I honestly felt like fingernails on the chalkboard. Like I did not like it. I felt out of place. I felt awkward. I was like, I don't think I belong in this space. Like it's weird. And, all these people are so, polished with their things. And I think that I took it as like, I'm going here to sell you on me so that either you refer me to your friends or you buy my services. That was my goal in networking. And it was just torture for me. I hated it. It wasn't until I was able to like change that mindset of, no, I'm going to build relationships, and out of those relationships, maybe I can help someone, and also maybe they can help me, but when I changed that perspective of, I'm going because I want to see who I can help, because I got a lot to offer. Let me see what I can help. Maybe I know something that can help you. And once I changed that, I think that was the game changer for me.
Yeah, for me, networking being a problem is always, it's an ongoing problem, right? So we are all cyclical people, right? We know this. We go hard, right? We're like, okay, we're excited about something, we do it, we go hard, and then we see the results of that, right? And then because we're seeing the results, we stop going hard on the thing that got us the results in the first place. And then there's this period of time where we're like, where's everybody at? How come I don't have anybody on my calendar? How come I don't have 25 appointments on a regular basis? And that's because we stopped going hard in the paint like we did in the beginning. That is literally the cycle that I go through on a regular basis. Is I'm like, okay, I got to get people, I got to get business, I got to get out there in front of people, and I will really network, right, to my heart's content. And I'll start seeing a bunch of people on my calendar, and I'll start having one-to-ones, and then I'll stop the initial activity, and kind of it wanes, right? Then it's like, then there's nobody on my calendar, and I'm like, where'd everybody go? How come they're not listening to me? How I overcame that particular issue was actually with Miss Colleen's program. She's over there, right there in that box right there. Her Fall in Love with Follow Up program was actually how I overcame that. Because what we don't realize sometimes is that networking isn't just the going to the meetings, right? Or going to the networking events. It's all of the other parts of it, right? It's kind of engaging with your power partners to find collaboration opportunities. It's dealing with social media and presenting yourself in a way that you stay top of mind in that way. It's the personal touches. It's the email campaigns and the like client relation part. It's the engaging with the post in these different places and in the different communities that you're a part of. It's all of those things combined is your networking, not just the one part. And doing Colleen's program, we focus on a different part of that every day, every single week. And so what ended up happening is, instead of me having to go out and spend all of my external energy, because I'm an introvert, so that there's a finite amount of energy that I can put outward and still be not a bitch, to be honest, to still be pleasant and patient. Instead of having to extend it all out in that way in order for my calendar to stay full, I was able to round out my networking experience and be able to kind of like have a full-fledged campaign of networking and relationship building that allowed me to be able to kind of create more of a balance. So there is a consistency to people popping in on my calendar, as opposed to this like explosion. Yep. And then this like, feast or famine moment, right? It's like feast, everybody's here, and then famine, nobody's here. And then it's like, wait a minute, I need everybody here again, instead of having that like kind of seesaw kind of moment, or that like feast or famine experience. I'm able to have a consistency that is like, okay, now I have the energy today, or I want to go network in person. I can do that. And it didn't change anything necessarily in me, other than I just have someone else who's going through my Fall in Love with Follow Up funnel. So that's how I overcame it.
And I'm kind of the opposite of Monica, right? Because I love going out and networking and being with people and connecting with them. But I was like overcommitting, like, oh yeah, I need to connect you with this person and connect you. And then I would, I'd have all intentions to do that, but then I'd go off to the next networking meeting and meet some new people, and then the next one and and it was like I just didn't stop to take time to actually do the connecting behind the scenes, as I call it. It's that follow up and figuring out, oh, you said you would tell this person about this person, actually do that introduction. It's great if they're there in person, but a lot of times they're not, right? So it's connecting them through LinkedIn or through Be Connected or a different platform and doing that. So and I created the program because I needed that help, right? I needed to be able to stop and have some structure and flexibility to be able to build that follow-up, right? And it's all about the connections. And a lot of people talk about, networking and following up. They go hand in hand, and they do. And it's when you think about networking and following up, just like we've talked about here, is about building that relationship. When you change your mind from I'm going to network and I'm going to follow up because I want to build relationships with people to find out what problems they have so I can find a solution for them, whether that's my product and service or Monica's or Peggy's, be that resource person. That's where you really find the beauty in networking.
I love that you said that you created it because you needed it. I mean, I think we all do that, like, right? We find that hole in the thing, and we're like, okay, I better create something. Oh, and not only did it help me, it could also help you. That's the cool thing about being an entrepreneur.
All right. My favorite part is keep networking, right? We could talk about networking all day. So who should you ask for help when you're trying to improve your networking? Monica, go first.
The people you should ask for help are people you see that are networking, right? Like Colleen's at every event ever.
Hey, I found some new ones though. Like I get help from, I ask people, where are you going?
Yeah, just yesterday when we were doing the Fall in Love with Follow Up work session, Yo was like, I'm using Alignable, but I need something like Alignable, but different. And she's like, oh, have you tried this? Or have you tried that? Or have you tried that? And she threw out 3 other examples of a similar kind of networking that she could use. So having someone like Colleen around to be able to ask for help when you're trying to actually improve your networking is actually really key. A person who's in the know and out in the streets and kind of like trying all the things is a great person to ask for help when you're trying to improve your networking.
And I want to just jump on the Colleen Starstruck bandwagon today, because not only like a lot of people are like, hey, this works for me, but Colleen's like, these are your ideal clients. These are who you're trying to reach. You would probably have really good success over here, or you would have really good success over here. And like, instead of me having to go to like 15 first meetings, she's like, oh, no, they don't really like, you don't want to deal with them. You like these people. And she's always been right. Like I've never gone to a meeting that Colleen has suggested that wasn't right. But also like opening up, what is out there, talking to people, because knowing who you're trying to reach, I think, is the key. Because if I were just to go to, a networking meeting that was all over here dealing with corporate things, and I'm trying to reach professional photographers and other people, maybe that's not where my audience is going to live, or the people that know my audience and serve my audience. So where do I need to go? The other people that are serving the same audience of me in a different way. So really taking the time to narrow down who your ideal clients are, because I think sometimes we really get lazy on, everyone, I'm a photographer, I want to photograph everyone. Not true. Not true. We want to photograph the people that we like to hang out with, the people that are going to love our style, our personality, because those are the people that are going to give us great recommendations. Everybody is not going to like your services. It's not going to be a fit for everyone. And that's where you start experiencing burnout. So my thought is go where your ideal clients are, or the people that serve your ideal clients are.
And look at different types of networking, right? Yo was talking about, she likes the speed networking one, where you go, you're in a group, you meet somebody, you talk for 5 to 7 minutes, and then you get another person and you do it. And some people like that, some people don't. I love that format because it's enough. 5 to 7 minutes is enough to know when I need to follow up with someone. right? Like if you're having a conversation with somebody and you resonate with them, right? You're syncing, you're on the same vibe. It's like, oh, I need to follow up with them like this week. Like we need to get another appointment on the calendar. If you're doing something where like, yeah, I want to follow up with them, but maybe it can wait a week, you can do that, right? Some people, it's like, yeah, they're great. They're not like, maybe they just somebody that right? And it's somebody you'll connect with at the next networking event, until you find that connection that resonates with you, right? Because some people aren't in your, they're not serving your same clients. They're totally in a different area. It might be a good connection. It's just good to know, oh, okay, I need to do them. You're not going to follow up with everyone the same way, in the same intervals. So I think that's the key where people, I think sometimes like, just here's my process, right? I'm just going to get this email and that, but look at who they are and how you can build that relationship with them.
Yeah, I was going to say, so that speed networking does work for some people, but for me, I actually don't want to spend 5 minutes with a person that I don't I don't necessarily want to talk to. 5 minutes is a long time for me. So the 1 minute, like everyone in the room set giving a 1 minute commercial allows me to self-select who I actually want to discuss more with, and I can just shoot them a quick direct message and say, hey, I'd love to connect, or find them on LinkedIn and be able to say like, hey, I saw you here. Let's schedule a conversation because I want to learn more. Works better for me than like having to spend 5 minutes with someone who is making my soul want to leave my body.
Yeah, well, at least it's better than, the 20 minutes, half hour, one-to-one appointments that sometimes people jump on your calendar and are like,
why are we here? Yeah. Which hot networking tip. Only do 20 minute sessions and buffer it 10 minutes before and 10 minutes after. That way, if you like someone, you can do a full 30 minutes.
Yeah.
That's so funny because I met somebody in New York when we were up there, and he was like, now I just have an hour. And I was like, no, that's fine. We only have an hour also. And we spent like 4 hours with him. He showed us all over New York. We had pizza. We like did all the things, but you have to like protect your time and putting that boundary on it, saying, here's a 15-minute. Oh my gosh, I got another appointment right after you. Yeah. The appointment is with my kitchen, but you don't have to know that. Yeah. Like, because it's energy draining, and you shouldn't give your energy is valuable. You shouldn't give that away. You shouldn't give that away.
It's like, don't go on the first date to don't go on a cruise on the first date. Instead, go to like coffee or tea or dinner where you can kind of have an exit strategy if you need to.
Yeah, exactly. That's yes. Oh, am I supposed to put up?
Yes,
you guys want me to do my work.
Do your job.
Oh, okay. I'm like networking. I stop at networking. So I also love the knowledge piece too. So being a knowledge person. So one more question is gain knowledge. So we want to think, what's that one tip that we haven't already done a bazillion, but what's maybe that one tip that we didn't highlight even more to really help you focus on that networking? So, Peggy, you have one more tip to?
Sure. I always have one more thing to say. So my one tip would be do something that is sustainable. Get yourself into a routine. Schedule. This is something I learned from Colleen. Schedule that time to follow up and network. Take notes. And I think this is more than one tip, but it all is in the keep it organized and make it a routine. Because otherwise you're going to get those gaps that Monica was talking about. You're like, oh my God, the world is open to me. Everyone loves me. And then wait, no one's on my calendar. What's going on? So when you get yourself a routine, join Fall in Love with Follow Up and work with Colleen every day, or, at least block off that time on your schedule where this is where I'm doing all my stuff. That's my one tip.
Perfect.
One tip.
Monica, you're up.
So I'm going to cheat, and I'm actually going to use Denise, who is my Maui buddy. Hey, Maui buddy, my roommate from my Maui trip. But speed networking can be challenging. And I want to use that as the beginning of my tip to say that, like, know who you are and what makes you work best. There's no such thing as the perfect way to network. There is the perfect way for you, and you have to be able to understand your own energy and how you work best, your own zone of genius, your own natural talents to actually leverage the ability to network to its fullest. So if you're an introvert, take that into consideration when you're creating your networking. If you're an extrovert, take that also into consideration. Use your strengths and your challenges when you're creating your networking strategy so that you can actually show up and, like Peggy said, consistently, so that you don't have those ebbs and flows of time and energy. So that's my one tip. Follow your gut and know yourself.
Perfect. And I guess I'm going to bring us home with don't beat yourself up. So so many times I get people who come and say, I went to a networking event, I had all the intentions, but there's still a stack of business cards on my desk, and I just went again. It's been a month. And I'm like, don't beat yourself up if you haven't connected right away, right? I know they say, 24, 48 hours, follow up. But if it didn't happen, it didn't happen. And a lot of times, I tell people, well, did they connect with you? And most people say no, right? So it's like, don't beat yourself up if you haven't done it. Just start to do it, right? So reach it. If it was somebody you thought, oh yeah, I need to connect with them, you probably still need to connect with them 3 weeks later, right? So just go ahead and start that process and do that. So and continue to build those relationships, and we talked about being consistent. So it's just a matter of just consistently connecting with the people to build that great relationship. And think of follow-up as just that one next step to build that relationship.
I love that. That is so good. Don't beat yourself up and follow your gut. Like mic drop in a row. Like that was like.
And be consistent. Don't forget. That's like the perfect set of.
Like this is this we had a few little technical issues before we got started. If y'all watching live couldn't tell, but what a show this has been. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Like,
oh yeah.
Monica, you singing?
Oh, sure. Announcements.
So, Peggy, how can people, or Monica, one of them, somebody, how can we connect with you more? Because this is just a little snippet of your genius. So
yes. So if you are in these streets trying to figure out how you can use your zone of genius in order to make an impact in the world, and you're having a hard time with this networking piece, no worries. Start with a call with me. I have 20 minutes for anybody. More if we get along. And we can really kind of brainstorm together and figure out how we can actually get you networking, get you out of your living room. No one's going to pay you. No one's going to walk into your living room and hand you money on your couch. You have to go out and get it. You have to go out and let them know that you're available to receive their money. And so I want to help you do that. So just get on my calendar. It's www.monica, M as in MinkLife, henderson.com/connect-call. Holla.
Yay. And if I could get over here, I will soon be on your screen. Yay. Look at me. Here I am. I would love to give you 15 minutes of my time, maybe more. So please go to headshotstrategist.com/let's chat and jump on and let me find out if I can help you figure out a strategy for your headshots. Or maybe you're a photographer and you're ready to go to the next level in your photography business. Let's absolutely chat and hang out. Maybe you just think I'm super cool and you want to hang out for 15 minutes. That's okay, because I'll probably think you're that cool too. So come hang out, and I'll see you soon.
All right, I just booked both those times. So, and for me, I would love to connect with you guys. So, the best way to do that is come try the Fall in Love with Follow Up program. Right, we've talked about it. We give you the first 2 weeks for free, which is what we talk about as level 1. So you're out there networking. You need to follow up. Come do it with us. Have fun while you're doing it and see the results.
Yay.
All right. So I guess I should do the community announcements. Well, if you've enjoyed this show, fantastic. We are here Wednesdays at 9 a.m. and Thursdays at 2 p.m. Pacific time. Mark your calendars and join the conversation. Be that co-host on the couch like Denise was today. Shout out to Denise. And chime in the conversation. But if you want to take us on the road, you want us in your pocket, and you want us to go with you, guess what? We can do that too, because you can listen on the go. Our show is streamed on all the major places that you get your podcasts, especially Spotify. So you're just going to go in, type into the search bar, MinkLife Motivation Live, and right there you can hit subscribe and know when we are able to be in the car with you, in your earpods, in your head, all of the places we can go with you. We're down for the ride. And last but not least, if you think you are cool enough to hang out with us cool kids on the screen, well, guess what? We think you're cool enough too. So go to www.minklifemotivation.com/live and sign up to be on the show. And you can hang out with me and Colleen and Peggy and all the other co-hosts on the couch, in the actual, not on the couch, but on the screen, and be able to answer some of these cool questions and let people live healthy, wealthy, and fulfilled by listening to you. That's the community announcements. We did it.
Yay.